My hubby is always worried about money. My view is money will show up when needed, and it's always worked out for me. And she says, I'm not bringing the level of money that I want to, and my husband's getting really leery about me doing this program. You know, we argue a lot about, that's what we really argue about the most, and it really gets heated. When this happens, I get kicked out of the state of teacher coach and helping my clients, and I panic as well. Any advice?
Yeah. Uh, it, it, there's a depth that needs to happen in that relationship to suss out how to get on the same page about everything that was just described.
Yeah, because she says it's her burning desire that her business is working. She's more committed than ever. So stepping away isn't an option. So it really feels like this is like important.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a disconnect in the relationship. So okay, so this is really interesting. What I'm going to do right now is what I want you all to get better at when you're on a sales call and you think you're talking about selling a product and videos and what you're selling, to come back to what's really going on, okay? And what's really going on is the woman that we're talking about here is on a separate island, separated from the relationship with her career, and the husband, I assume it's a marriage, and the husband is on a separate island in frustration about it. She is not going to thrive without the support of the husband. Now, the support does not mean he agrees with it. Okay? Connection has to do with understanding each other, not always having to be agreement about choices. So they're in disagreement about their choices, and they're in disagreement about caring about each other, and disconnected and not getting each other for sure.
Hey, Alex and I lived in this world for a long time. Okay, long time. This was a big hurdle for us. There was not a lack of love there, but a lack of communication about the communication of caring for the other or concern.
Yeah. I'm going to give you an analogy, which is a little off the charts, but I have a couple, and they're both lobbyists. And one's a Republican, and one's a Democrat. One of them obviously voted for Trump. Okay? Lobbied for Trump. All right? Talk about fighting over the details and not caring about each other. Okay? Now, this did take about 6 months of work every week with me. If you saw them behind me here in this office talking about politics, you would not know who voted for which one, who voted for who. They have replaced listening and caring about each other's perspectives above the content of who they voted for.
That's important. They put listening to each other's perspectives above what the content was.
Yeah.
Because that shows caring.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this husband-wife combo here, the wife needs to understand and learn about all the husband's fears and what he's going through, because she's making up in her mind what it means. He needs to learn more about her passion and what it means to her and the intensity of it.
The intensity of it. Oh, God. I think most of my arguments with Alex, I'm just telling myself now.
Yeah.
Is because he didn't get the intensity. Like, this is so important.
Yeah.
So the volume would go up in my voice, but he'd check out, right? So the intensity, like, this is really important. Yeah. Understanding the intensity.
Yeah. And then if I was working with both of them, why is it important? Why is it so intense you want to do this career? What's the deeper meaning? And all of a sudden she tells a story, when she was a little girl and she was 7, this thing happened in class and it set her on this thing. And it's like, I can't tell you how often I work with people and I hear stories about their past, and they've been together 20 years, and I hear it in here for the first time, these incredible stories of why they found the meaning they did, we don't share with each other because we can't get close enough because this communication isn't vulnerable enough. And that is what the couple has to do. So while I could go into lots of solutions about how to work things through, if your relationships or the ones people you're talking to are compromising to deal with their differences, that's a divorce waiting to happen. When you hear about 50-year marriages and how they lasted and people say, we compromised, okay? That often means they gave up lots of things to deal with each other. That does not mean they were close necessarily. So relationships are not bargains, they're bonds. And that bond is so close, it's like parent to child. So in these relationships you're helping people with, I guarantee you, they don't understand each other's emotional perspectives. Always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot, but you know, I thought Alex and I were doomed to get a divorce, but we really just needed to learn how to listen to each other without the context. It's not so much about the content, it's more that we're listening and showing that we care. And so maybe, you know, if anybody here wants to reach out and work with Derek privately, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can share your email. Is it derek@understandingother.com?
Yeah.
Type that here in the chat for anyone. My hat's off to Derek. Obviously would not have brought him on here if I didn't think he was a total rock star. And I think you guys are all understanding the level of emotional intelligence he really has. He's worked with thousands of clients over the last, I don't know how many years, but I'll put his email here in case anybody wants to reach out personally.
Thanks.
Yeah.